I've sung on stage 2 times and I hated it. So I was like, no, I don't. I think it's better if you get a different singer.
I'm here with one of the most beautiful voices and most beautiful people in metal.
Thank you.
Simone.
Simone. Simone, Simon. I'm used to different variations of my name.
Simone, that's actually nice.
Yeah, that's my new nickname from the band because in China people called me Simone and that's now my new nickname. So
yeah,
I listen to all variations.
Obviously of the band Epica. Thank you so much for making some time for us.
You're welcome.
How are you today?
I'm good, excited to be here. It
Yeah?
seems like a fun festival. I like the whole design of the set and great bands playing here. I'm looking forward to a party and to see some bands myself.
I wondered because of the theme, you were talking about the theme a little bit and it's something that I ask everybody, but have you ever been to prison?
Yes, I've been to the original Alcatraz in San Francisco many years ago. I did the tour. It was a beautiful day. I went with some of my bandmates and it was weird to be there, but I loved the experience and to just see it for myself.
I thought it was very interesting to see that you have this website about makeup and everything like that. I mean, you seem like such a feminine girl. You know, like you do all the sort of, and you also look very feminine. You look exactly like Ariel, which, by the way, I saw on your website is your favorite character.
Yeah, from the Disney ones, I really liked her. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also like the witch Ursula. I got a bit of both in me. I got Ariel and Ursula. So.
Yeah. No, that's very interesting because I think what I find very interesting is how you came into the business at quite a young age, and then you sort of, without losing that sort of sweetness, you really came into your own. So that was something that I wanted to talk to you about a little bit. Like, what were the moments in your development as a person, as a singer, as an artist, that you felt like, now I'm sort of like, these are important steps in my coming into my own as an Ursula a little bit?
Yeah, I started with 17, traveled the world, and traveling the world does make you grow up faster, I think. Always been surrounded by older people.
Sure.
And never really could communicate properly with my peers, with people of my own age. I always felt more drawn to older people, to learn from them, just to talk to them. Being in a metal band, traveling the world, does really do good things for your soul, for your view of how the world actually is, because you get to travel the world, you get to meet people, different cultures, the food, and that's, I think it's a beautiful thing that I could grow up while traveling the world.
But at the same time, you did, as far as I can tell, you did sort of take the initiative in the first place to join the band or to meet up with the guys. So that means that there was that sort of adventurous spirit.
I was asked. I declined at first because back then I was still in high school and a little bit shy of everything in the world, I guess. So it's very insecure and I didn't want to be on stage. I've sung on stage 2 times and I hated it. So I was like, no, I don't. I think it's better if you get a different singer, but that didn't work out with the first singer they worked with. And then they asked me again and I said, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. I had the feeling deep down inside that, you know, I'm not a very hippie, spiritual kind of person, but I do believe a lot of things happen for a reason. And when I got offered it for the second time, I thought, okay, this probably has to be it for me in life. I should just do it and take a leap of faith and just go with the flow.
And how did they find you?
Back then I was Mark's girlfriend.
Oh,
so,
I see.
And when he left after Forever, he started a new band. And he knew that I could sing, that I loved to sing, but I told him I wanted to finish high school, and a couple months later I did join the band. Sometimes you just gotta do things that are out of your comfort zone to grow, and just to, afterwards you feel like, wow, I did it. You can be proud of yourself. But the first shows for me, or the first show with Epica, and the first time I was on stage when I was 12, I was nervous like hell, and now it's like a second nature for me. I don't have any stage fright, luckily. So Otherwise, I would suffer a lot because we tour a lot.
Yeah, I know. I noticed you guys are very hardworking. So that would be your tip to people to maybe exit their comfort zone, try to experiment.
Yeah. If you're scared of something, you should do it.
There's a lot of science fiction themes there as well. Is that something that interests you?
Yeah, more like quantum physics. With science fiction, I like the movies, but with some of the topics, Mark, he was really interested in quantum physics and science, and it's like a red line going through all the lyrics. The lyrics are very spiritual, philosophical, and scientific. But I am not a scientist by any means. No, I would like to know how you can create a lipstick, that kind of science. And Mark is more into the quantum physics.
So when he comes with those themes, you're like learning a lot of stuff from him.
Well, he explained me the idea that, for the kind of concept or the red line going through it all, and he's more a firm believer of the whole idea that all of this could be like a hologram.
Yeah.
I am more like the philosopher that questions everything. I'm not easily convinced.
It's interesting to me how the life of musicians is like or at least active musicians is comprised of this cycle of writing, putting out the album, touring, and then this constant cycle. What part of that cycle do you enjoy the most?
Well, for us, it's all intertwined because we often write and record a CD in between touring. We've never really taken a big break from touring just to write and record. We would always fit it in between the tours. And when I was pregnant with my son, we took like a couple months off from touring because I just physically couldn't anymore. And that's when we were writing the Quantum Enigma. And shortly after I gave birth, I recorded the vocals. So for me, I really like the writing process, to record it and to then perform the new songs live. But I am not really a person who enjoys to be in the studio too long, to be on stage and play the new songs.
Yeah.
Just the end process of when you have all the pieces of the puzzle, when it's all together, it's complete, and you present it to the world, because it's no better feeling for me than, of course, getting married and giving birth and all that. But when you are in a creative process, you have the ideas in your head, the melodies, the lyrics. It's not out there in the world. And then when the CD is there, it's like everybody gets a glimpse inside of your brain, all the creative ideas that you have, they come to life, and somewhere right now people might be listening to Epica, and that's a very a great feeling. It makes me happy.
Yeah, that's a nice feeling, I can imagine. But it seems like the work is never really finished, because then when you actually start playing it, the music will change again, and it will sort of evolve.
Or songs will never be 100% finished, especially if you're writing with 6 people in total, that everybody has a different view, a different taste. And that's also a creative process, getting everything together. Everybody writes their own songs, trying to make it sound like Epica. They're never really finished, especially when you start to play them live. You do variations. I try to stick to the vocal lines how they are, but sometimes I do a little freestyle.
Or like you can change the things that you wanted to try out.
Yeah, or just go with the flow, how you feel at that moment. You have to set it free and let it develop by itself.
Yeah, exactly. Which is interesting. We were talking a little bit before. You have a lot of artistic interests, which I think is very fascinating. You have your blog, The Smoon Style, which I think was very interesting to see, with your makeup tips and how you do everything. And then you're also working with photography, you told me. So tell me a little bit about that creative.
I always loved the whole thing around Epica, not just the music, but also doing the photo shoots, the video shoots, creating the artwork for the CD booklets, the whole creative process, not just the music. And I always loved to be creative ever since I was a child. Whether with photography, my father loved to take photos. He had like the Hasselblad, took photos of me and my sister. And makeup as well. In the Netherlands we have Carnival. I don't know if it's also a thing in Belgium.
Yeah.
Because I come from the south of the Netherlands, the Limburg, where it's close to Belgium.
Yeah.
And also in Cologne in Germany they celebrate it as well.
Yeah.
So for me that was the first time where I could take those little crayons and not paint myself looking like a clown, but like trying to put on eyeshadow. I'm enjoying all the creative stuff, and the guys they suffer when we do video shoots and photo shoots, and I'm always the one spending the most time on set because I am willing to, and I like to be creative and work with other creatives as well.
Yeah.
And not in the musical sense, but in the visual set.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for making the time for us, and I wish you luck with all of your creative and artistic endeavors. And I hope to see you sometime soon.
Yeah.
Simone.
7 o'clock we'll be playing right there.
Simone.
Simone Simons signing off.